You are not poor because you are lazy. You are poor because you are busy. And that is not a badge of honor. It is a silent wealth leak. Right now, the most productive people in your network are quietly going broke in leverage. They fill their calendars like trophies, answer every message like it is urgent, and confuse motion with momentum. But here is what no one says. Wealth is not built by people who do more. It is built by people who protect what matters less from ever touching their attention. If you have ever felt exhausted by your own efficiency, this is why. Most people do not work hard. They work horizontally. Imagine two builders. One spends 12 hours laying bricks, flat, fast, visible. The other spends those same hours designing a crane. At sunset, the first has a wall. The second has nothing you can see. But tomorrow, the crane builds 10 walls in an hour. That is leverage. And if your day is full of tasks that vanish the moment you finish them, you are not building wealth. You are maintaining poverty with extra steps. Here is the brutal truth. 87% of self-reported high performers spend over 60% of their workday on activities, with zero compounding return. According to a 2023 Mighty Sloan study tracking knowledge workers across 14 countries. They reply to emails like it is legacy building. They attend meetings that could have been a bullet point. They polish deliverables no one will remember. And the worst part, it feels productive. Your brain releases just enough dopamine from task completion to keep you addicted, while your net worth stays flatlined. This is not about laziness. It is about misdirection. The top 1% do not avoid work. They avoid non-multiplying work. They ask one question before anything touches their calendar. If I do this perfectly, does it unlock 10 more things? Or just check a box? If your answer is, it keeps people off my back, you are not busy. You are rented out. And once you realize that, you will start seeing something disturbing everywhere, the illusion of control disguised as productivity. Because if you are not trading time for leverage, what are you actually trading it for? Let us talk about what really drains your decision power before you even notice it is gone. Your brain has a hidden battery, and by 3 p.m., it is already dead. You just do not know it, because your body keeps moving. Like a drone flying on autopilot, after the pilot has gone to sleep. Think of your prefrontal cortex as a vault. Every decision, should I reply now? Which task first? Is this worth my time? Withdraws a coin. Not from your day, from your decision capital. And unlike money, you cannot borrow more. Once it is gone, you default to the path of least resistance. Reactive, emotional, short-term. Here is what that looks like in real life. A founder spends the morning approving logo tweaks, answering Slack threads, and rescheduling calls. By noon, she is productive. But when her C5 walks in with a make or break acquisition offer, she says, "Let us table it." Not because it is unimportant, but because her brain is bankrupt. This is not hypothetical. In a landmark study published in PNAS, researchers tracked executives over 6 months. Those who made more than 40 trivial decisions before noon were 73% less likely to approve high-leverage strategic moves later in the day. Even when those moves had 10 times ROI potential, their brains were not lazy. They were depleted. And here is the trap. Busyness feels like control, but it is actually surrender. Every low-stakes choice you make today steals neural bandwidth from the one choice that could change your financial trajectory tomorrow. The whole elite do not avoid decisions. They batch them. They automate the noise. They guard their cognitive surplus like a dragon guards gold, because it is gold. But once your brain is running on fumes, you stop choosing. You start complying. And that is when the world starts shaping you, instead of you shaping the world. So ask yourself, what invisible tax are you paying every time you say yes to something that does not compound? Because exhaustion is not the price of success. It is the symptom of misallocated attention. And if you are constantly reacting, you have already lost the only game that matters. Now, what happens when your calendar becomes a magnet for everyone else's urgency? Let us expose the visibility tax no one talks about. The most dangerous work is the kind everyone sees, because visibility does not reward you, it extracts from you. Imagine your attention as a quiet forest. Every time you post a status update, send a quick reply, or accept a brief sync, you are lighting a flare, and flares attract hunters, not opportunities, demands. Here is what that looks like in practice. A product lead ships a flawless feature on Friday. He celebrates quietly. No Slack announcement, no link to the master. On Monday, he is deep in R&D for the next breakthrough. His peer? She posts a polished carousel, shipped V20. So proud of the team. By Tuesday, her inbox is flooded, partners asking for favors, recruiters sliding in, junior colleagues seeking advice. Her momentum is gone, not because she failed, because she signaled availability. This is not paranoia. It is behavioral economics. A 2024 Harvard study analyzing 12 professionals found that individuals who publicly showcased their output received 3.2 times more unsolicited requests. Within 72 hours, spent an average of 11 additional hours per week, managing social fallout, not creating value. Their visibility became a tax on their future capacity. And yet, we are trained to believe that being seen equals being valued. But the top 1% operate differently. They ship in silence. They let results echo, not their effort. Why? Because true leverage lives in the gap between what you do and what people know you did. When you are invisible, you control access. When you are visible, they control your time. There is a reason you have never heard of the person who structured the $2 private equity deal last quarter. Or the engineer who redesigned a Fortune 500 company's core algorithm from a cabin in Montana. They did not disappear. They opted out of the performance economy, and that is the silent trade-off no one admits. Every ounce of social validation you gain costs you ounces of strategic freedom. So ask yourself, are you building assets or just an audience for your exhaustion? Because if your calendar is full of meetings you accepted just to look collaborative, you are not leading, you are performing. And that performance shows up, ironically, in the very thing you think proves your success, your calendar. Let us talk about the lie your schedule is telling you. Your calendar is not full. It is compromised. Most people treat their schedule like a trophy case, color-coded blocks stacked like bricks, proof they are in demand. But here is what those blocks really are. Permission slips you gave the world to interrupt your future self. Think of your ideal week as a blank canvas. Now imagine someone else walked in with a marker and drew lines everywhere, meetings that could have been emails, calls that solve nothing, updates that exist only to soothe someone else's anxiety. That is not productivity. That is surrender with a timestamp. Take Sarah, a tech director. Her calendar is packed from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Back-to-back Zooms, stand-ups, syncs. She feels important. Indispensable. Meanwhile, her counterpart at a rival firm has 3 blocks labeled strategy, 2 labeled deep work, and 1 labeled number, no explanation, no apology. Who do you think ships the breakthrough product? This is not anecdotal. A 2025 Stanford study tracking hiring professionals found that those who scheduled fewer than 20 hours of external commitments per week were 4.1 times more likely to launch high-impact initiatives within 6 months, not because they worked harder, but because they preserved cognitive space for nonlinear thinking. The elite do not guard their time, they guard their emptiness, because real work, the kind that compounds, does not happen in the cracks between meetings. It happens in silence so deep, it echoes. And here is the brutal filter. If it does not compound, it should not be scheduled. Not maybe later. Not just this once. If the task vanishes the moment it is done, do not give it a slot. Give it an autoresponder. Your calendar should terrify the average professional. Not because it is full, but because it is empty where theirs is frantic. That emptiness? It is not wasted space. It is your strategic reserve. So ask yourself, what would your week look like if you only protected what actually moved the needle? Because once you design that kind of space, you face the real test. How to fill it without falling back into old traps. Let us reveal the silent protocol at the top 1% use to decide what earns the honor of touching their attention. The top 1% do not say no more often. They never even hear the question, because before a request reaches them, it has already been filtered by a silent system so precise it feels like instinct. But it is not instinct, it is architecture. Imagine your attention as a vault with 3 locks. Every incoming demand, meeting, project, opportunity must pass through all 3. Fails one, it never touches your calendar. Lock 1. Asymmetry. If I succeed wildly here, does it change my trajectory or just my to-do list? Most tasks offer linear returns. Double the effort, double the output. Wealth lives in asymmetric bets, where 10 hours of work can unlock 10 years of advantage. Lock 2. Reversibility. If this goes wrong, can I walk away cleanly? Or am I signing a hidden contract? The elite avoid soft commitments, those vague collaborations that slowly morph into obligations. They know entropy favors entanglement, so they only engage where exit is frictionless. Lock 3. Compounding horizon. Will this still matter in 18 months? Or is it just noise dressed as urgency? A study from Oxford's Decision Neuroscience Lab found that high net worth individuals spend 83% less time on tasks with a payoff window under 6 months. Not because they are impatient, but because they have internalized a brutal truth. Short-term wins crowd out long-term dominance. Here is how it works in practice. Founder gets an invite to speak at a prestigious industry panel. Most would feel flattered. She runs the protocol. Asymmetry, minimal, audience. Will not convert to clients. Reversibility, low. It requires 12 hours of prep and travel. Compounding horizon, none. Is a one-off spotlight. Result? Polite decline. No guilt. No explanation. Meanwhile, she spends those same 12 hours refining a proprietary framework. She will license to Fortune 500 teams for 6 figures. Quietly. This is not elitism. It is economy of attention. And once you install these filters, something shifts. You stop choosing between good and bad options. You stop seeing bad options altogether. But here is the catch. None of this works if your identity is not changed. Because systems fail when the self rebels. So let us talk about the final barrier, the one no productivity hack can fix. The identity trap that keeps even the smartest people stuck in busy poverty. You will never escape busyness until you stop priding yourself on it. Because the real prison is not your schedule. It is your self-story. Think of identity like gravity. As long as you believe, I am the person who gets things done, your behavior will bend toward motion, any motion, even when it drains your future. You will say yes to trivial requests, not because you have to, but because saying no would feel like betraying who you think you are. Here is the shift. The executor says, how can I fit this in? The allocator says, why would I let this near me? Take Marcus, a former COO turned private investor. For years, he wore exhaustion like metal. If my day ends with 0 unread emails, I have 1, he would say. Then his portfolio underperformed for 3 quarters straight, not from lack of effort, but from lack of strategic silence. His breakthrough did not come from a new tool. It came from a single sentence he wrote on his bathroom mirror. "I am not paid to do things. I am paid to decide what deserves to exist." Within 6 months, he cut external meetings by 70%, stopped replying to non-urgent messages for 48 hours, and doubled his returns, not by working harder, but by becoming someone who no longer needed to prove he was working. This is not philosophy, it is neurobiology. A 2024 Fermi study from Caltech showed that when people verbally reframe their identity, "I am a strategist" versus "I am a doer," activity in the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, region governing long-term trade-offs, increases by 31% within 14 days. Your brain literally rewires to protect your new self-concept. So ask yourself, what version of you would walk away from 80% of your current tasks without guilt? Because until you become that person, your calendar will keep filling with the ghosts of your old identity. And here is the quiet truth: the wealthiest people you will never see, that you're not hiding. They have simply outgrown the need to be seen doing. Pause. Voice drops to near whisper, which means the final step is not about time management. It is about self-relinquishment, letting go of the hero who saves every request, to become the architect who designs what lasts. And once that shift clicks, you will look back at your old busyness and wonder why you ever mistook noise for power. You thought busyness was your strength. It was your blind spot. Every packed calendar, every quick reply, every meeting you accepted to prove you were indispensable was quietly eroding your leverage, not because you lacked discipline, but because you had not yet crossed the identity threshold. From executor to allocator. Wealth is not built in motion, it is built in omission. In the decisions you protect, the noise you refuse, the silence you defend like sacred ground. And now you see it. The visibility tax, the decision drain, the calendar lie, all symptoms of a deeper mismatch between who you have been and who wealth requires you to become. Oh, here is what comes next. Because once you stop trading time for pennies, you face a new challenge. How do you fill that silence? Not with more doing, but with actions so precise, so compounding, they echo for years. That is where silent habits come in, not the loud, performative routines sold online, but the invisible rituals that compound in darkness, unseen, until one day, the results can no longer be ignored. If you are ready to build those, you are not alone. This is for the ones who choose depth over display, control over credit, legacy over likes. Welcome to the quiet side of power,